today is the first day of the Asia contingent of that Pilski, and it is quite nice to catch back up with what's been happening in Asia. You know, we know obviously TYLOO and ViCi are going to be strong competitors here, but we sort of question as well, what can NKT do? What can Checkmate potentially do as well? We'll probably talk a little bit more to Checkmate tomorrow. But for now, obviously, we're going to be focusing on ViCi and NKT. Yeah, if we do take a look at the bracket Pilski, I think that'll give us a good insight as to maybe what the matches are going to be over the course of this tournament. You know, it's generally pretty straightforward when it comes to regions like Oceania and Asia to kind of make an educated guess as to what we'll see from the upper bracket matches. NKT ViCi Gaming would probably expect to be seeing ViCi move forward from that one, and then Checkmate and TYLOO would also be saying the same when it comes to TYLOO, which would mean that those two would meet each other in the upper bracket final, and then from there, obviously, we go on continuing through all the way to that grand final.
Kaze looking to see if he can pick off any of these players before the execute gets kicked off. NKT, out come the smokes, a few Molotovs being replied in. A lot of damage, actually, and Kaze's going to find the first there.
He's in the fire, though. He's burning alive. An impression is going to make 2 entries count quite nicely for NKT. In the meanwhile, Advent has managed to get behind, and Zoking is also there. So NKT are going to have to aggress somewhere, and in doing so, they run into Jamyoung. It's on to Urcast in a 1-on-3. He's already found the first. He'll get the second as well, but he's not quite going to push it onto the deep.
Yeah. Setting up for the retake, they do have the man advantage. Only this single smoke, but the kit is on Advent, the player with the smoke, so... NKT. Just trying to hold on to this post plant from Long and Bathrooms.
Oh, not so bad so far for NKT. A 2-for-1 trade. Impression needs to pop his head back up. It is Orman, and he's got an M4 in hand, and he's going to catch Impression off guard, but does he have the time for the defuse? I don't think so, Pilski. Orman thought he did. They've got it down to just one smoke now and 1 flash. One of those smokes is going to go onto the monster tunnel, and NKT might inevitably have to push through it. Advent is still holding on to one as well, but Urcast opens things up. It'll end up being a 1-for-1 because he tries to push on through. Zoking is doing a good job of holding on. He's got multiple angles to be aware of, but NKT just pause, and Zoking is being given 1v1 after 1v1 after 1v1. He's going to have to hit some banger shots here, isn't he, Pilski? 17 seconds left as NKT try to make their way into the site with no utility at all. Zoking's on one angle. He's got his teammate on the other. Kaze's there to help out. Orman as well, and they will be successful in getting the bomb plant down. Impression also finding a couple of really nice kills, but he's run out of bullets, tries to hide inside of the smoke.
ViCi going to start to fall back on some more passive angles. They're going to let NKT have the site, but that's where Zoking can activate.
Yeah, this is all part of the plan for ViCi Gaming. Zoking lining them up from behind and making it look easy. What a day so far for Zoking, by the way. 14-5. He is making the difference for ViCi in a lot of these rounds. Score will try to wrap around behind, and once again, it is Zoking to answer. And Zion eventually falls. Of course, it is the A-bomb site that's cracked open by NKT, and this time, they are keeping a bit of a heads up on what's happening through the connector. They really know that that is an area of the map that's been problematic for them, and it continues to be. As Urcast drops to Advent, Zion's going to go on a bit of an expedition, spots out Advent, Jamyoung trades, but can't get Execute as well. It's a double kill for the Indonesian superstar. And Orman and Kaze will now have to try to clutch out a 2-on-2. Impression is up the creek without a panel, and Execute is covered off by Kaze. So in the end, actually, the 2v2 goes quite comprehensively. So they want to pick the pace up a little bit here. NKT flashes through. They're good for Impression to find the entries. Can't quite spin around to get the player on short, and ViCi Gaming. But NKT have taken some nice map control. Urcast has worked his way up into the sniper's window. All it takes is one from Execute. But he's not quite going to be able to get that, and Orman gets it done for ViCi Gaming. Now it's not just the Zoking show.
These hard buys, and it seems like NKT looking towards this B site. What a read from Orman. Almost finds Score.
How has Score gotten away with his life there?
I don't know, mate.
Oh, he's nearly killed Zion as well.
Yeah, that is like one of my favorite roles, is that short B rotator.
Well, Kaze not able to hit the shot, but luckily he's got Advent standing right behind him. He's spraying everyone down with the M4. Just the 1 kill in this round for NKT. An undefended site here by any means. And once again, Zoking's gone on a little bit of a scenic tour around the bathrooms. And he's actually going to come up behind Urcast and get another kill. So this must be an incredibly frustrating game for NKT to be playing. Zoking just appears behind them every single round, it seems like. That said, they are into the bomb site itself. Advent tries to go through the smoke to deny a bomb plant. Now, Zoking's caught out in no man's land. Push Urcast and score away from that position and kind of allow ViCi to just walk into B. Kaze drew enough of a rotate, and Zoking does not want to slow down what he was doing on the CT side. That's what I was talking about, Pilski. I was saying, if Zoking's going to be doing that on CT, you can only imagine what he's going to get up to on the T. Oh, that's a good shot from Urcast with the Deagle. Does catch Zoking. Numbers are looking a bit limited for ViCi Gaming. Jam Young, as ever though, is going to be the rock that gets ViCi Gaming back into a difficult looking round. And as soon as it looks exciting for NKT, it is just quickly pulled away from them by ViCi. It's still going to be a factor. ViCi Gaming have been able to buy back straight into this round, and they're going to come into the B bomb site with revenge in mind, and that might be what they're about to get. Advent hits himself a nice opener. Kaze gets another, and the only frag to come through from NKT so far is from Urcast. It'll be him and Excurate to try to salvage it. Urcast is looking sharp in this round, though, as he gets another one onto Jam Young. What has Urcast had for breakfast before this round? I don't know. And where was it in all of the previous rounds? Because that was something pretty special. Now, though, leaves it to Urcast in the 1-on-2. Might be able to get a freebie here on the Kaze. He couldn't get off the bomb, and unfortunately, Urcast. Bit of a head scratcher now for ViCi Gaming. They thought that they had this one scot-free. They thought that the map was pretty much over, and to be honest, so did I. But NKT are showing some fight still is left in them. Map number 1. Which is perhaps quite important, given the fact that Nuke is coming up next, and it's hard-pressed to find a team that's going to beat ViCi in the Asian region on Nuke. This is a much better looking round from NKT. They've got a lot of guns alive. If they can keep that, then that means that their money's going to look very good, and obviously you start to put the pieces of the puzzle together that they might be able to come back into this map, score another really nice shot with the AWP. Kaze's starting to look to make it a bit more expensive. He's only got 20 seconds here, and eventually will fall, so 2 AWPs retained, an AK there as well.
As the loss bonus gets reduced for NKT, and as they chip through their economy, just making their next couple of buys more difficult. If you can take away that double AWP, that will definitely help out, because at the moment, both of them seem to be connecting.
Excurate. Able to get himself another one. I'd like to really see him go off with the AWP in this series. That would make it very exciting. Particularly if you're an AKT fan. Orman might not be. He's got other ideas. But the round will still fall by the wayside for... I have to say, every single one of these rounds is still dangerous for NKT. How many times we've been in a situation like this, or where ViCi's been in a rough spot, and that's exactly what I was about to say, and Jam Young hits a Deagle entry, or something like that happens, and you suddenly start to see the round falling a little bit by the wayside. Impression is under a lot of pressure right now, but he has the backup from his teammates, and so it looks like NKT will get through the round despite a bit of a hiccup. Nice little surf from Advent there.
Yeah.
But you do get a little bit worried when you see Jam Young hit that first Deagle shot. Well, I do wonder how many NKT supporters are watching along with a few nails being bitten right now, because this is way too close for comfort still for them. It's very, very losable from here. ViCi Gaming have found the first entry and the second as well. Surely not after such hard work. NKT, they cannot fall at the final hurdle at the 11th hour. Urcast burns alive to a Molotov, and ViCi Gaming get the bomb down on B. The weight of this entire map rests on the shoulders of Excurate and Zine, and they'll work their way forward for the retake. Zoking in the perfect spot to bring it undone. Zine falls, Excurate soon to follow. 4-on-1, just not possible. And the matches between themselves are the big important ones. Either way, we do have ViCi and NKT moving on to a Nuke, and the start is okay, actually, for ViCi Gaming in the end. It looked like it was going to fall apart a little bit there with a nice crossfire set up by NKT, but Jam Young. But a 1-on-4 for the post plant? Well, I don't know. Kaze, he's a bit of a superstar, but in this situation, it's going to be incredibly tough. AK in hand, he works his way up to control room, does dispatch of the first, Pieces of the puzzle starting to come together for Kaze. Pops the flash down, defuses on, but it's a full 10-second defuse, so he's got time to work with. But I think time has run out. He did a little bit of damage. As long as they get through this round pretty comfortably, which you'd think they should. There's only the one flash for ViCi Gaming, and they only have one upgraded pistol as well, so really not a whole lot to work with. And to be honest, the NKT lads, they're looking pretty sharp here on Nuke. Advent not able to get the better of Zion, who just does a 180. Zion, tucked behind the back vent, is going to be put on fire. Does not actually have a smoke to put it out with, and so he's going to be forced out into the open. An easy kill for Advent, but the rest of the trades are coming through for NKT. They played that bait and switch quite nicely. Kaze, lucky to be alive at this point in time, but he's not expecting the Execute, just sitting on the ladder with a P250. And
I think for NKT, for me now, it's a case of obviously the potential's there, but I just want to see them win. Just need a...
Impression. Holding nicely. Isn't really going to have too much that he needs to do in this round. Eventually, the retake begins before the bomb plant has even occurred. Now we're back to 2-on-2. Jamyoung drops off the top of Hut, and Kaze covers off nicely. Urcast is done so. Jamyoung's position known by Zine. He's down to one shot though. 1 HP. Kaze still holding on to it with the AWP, but information looks like it's gone across that the pistol now does come out. Zine needs a double. That's a bit of timing for Zoking. Just creeps around the corner as Score pops his head up with the AWP. And this could be really unfortunate for Score. He's not going to be able to spot Zoking coming from that angle. And once again, ViCi, they just, as you say, continue to run rings around their opponents. Urcast is able to answer. And this round looking much better for NKT at the very least.
Very difficult to get back into the round from this point. Retake flashes will definitely help out if they're placed well for Advent, but not really connecting on too many of the players. You're starting to see the retake come in from heaven and finding some space here, but that's where the Glocks at the close range do have the advantage, and it's all on Advent. He was actually late towards Annex side. Not sure where he's throwing those retake flashes from, but I don't think he's going to have too many issues in this round. Or rather, NKT won't have too many issues in this round. Just going to drive by him with the Glock. Aggressing on lobby after seeing those outside smokes. This might have been a great heads-up play for NKT.
Oh, once again, it's the double stack into radio, but it hasn't quite worked out. Now Jamyoung has a bit of work to do. He's got to fall. It's a too dangerous spot to stay in, and now Advent has to hold from the site itself. He gets the headshot onto Impression, but not the kill, of course. It's the Emperor A1S. Jamyoung drops down off the rafters, cleans up Urcast, and Impression can just about get the bomb plant down, but it's now a 2-on-1 for Score to finish off Orman, 3 HP. He's going to be the one that will have to break through that smoke, but he might be the difference maker. Gets the timing perfect, and a couple of bullets sent in the direction of the body as well to let NKT know exactly what's up. I feel like Orman's the X factor, but he's going to have to be quick. He's worked his way all the way back through T-Spawn and has managed to get behind Execute. That is what ViCi is waiting for. He spotted one out, but he didn't progress forward through Squeaky. Jamyoung, what is that? What is that turn? And he might just get the spam through onto Urcast. It's not enough anyway. The time would have run down, but what was that turn? And I can't believe he actually gets away with that headshot.
I've got my eye on Jamyoung. He's still in ramp here. A lot of players heading toward him.
Yeah, he's going to double down.
Up.
Impression, Urcast, Score, they're all falling.
I think he's behind the other player as well. He's on top of Hut. This should be an easy kill for him. Sign's got inside the smoke, but Orman's going to take him out, and that is a round.
I'm not sure NKT will be feeling hugely confident going into the Checkmate, but that's something that we can talk about when we get there. If it is indeed Checkmate, Jamyoung, Kaze certainly look like they're going to be sending NKT down into the lower bracket, because this round is convincing from ViCi Gaming. Let's have a look at the bracket here as well, you know, just to update everyone as to where we're sitting for the tournament thus far. It's only day one, so there hasn't really been too many changes. NKT get the 2-0, rather not. Do not get the 2-0, I should say. It would be ViCi that got the 2-0 there. And ViCi do move over to the upper side of the bracket. NKT get knocked back down. Tomorrow we'll be looking forward to Checkmate and TYLOO. That'll be the other match in the upper bracket, round one. And that will be you know, the match that decides who goes on to face ViCi and who goes on to face NKT. We've seen this kind of a situation so many times, though, before where, you know, obviously ViCi and TYLOO are on opposite sides of the bracket. They move through. They meet each other in the upper bracket final. Sometimes it doesn't even matter who wins that upper bracket final.
Yeah.
Because you just know that the team that loses goes all the way through to the grand final anyway. And it's that grand final that really is the one that makes the difference, right?
Let's see if they can just make it through their first round opponent here. It is obvious that a team like Checkmate, who has been exceeding expectations at every turn, should not necessarily be a pushover, although these two teams did play each other towards the end of August, and it was a quite comprehensive 2-0 for TYLOO. There was at least one close map there, and we do know that these Checkmate blokes have plenty of experience. Well, I mean, you've got someone like Mara over there in the coaching role into B-Smoke. The Checkmate, they're not going to use it. Instead, it looks like a bit of explode up catwalk off the back of a flash, but they pulled some great rotations off of this A site.
Danking watching and waiting for the moment with the USP in hand, but he can't be the only defender because he's very low indeed, and Bart also grabs himself a kill. It's a fantastic start for Checkmate. Somebody not going to be able to land too many shots there as he tries to retake into short. The flash will catch Bart, but he's able to drop off to safety for but a moment. Somebody and someone do chime back with a couple for TYLOO, but to be fair, that's not exactly going to help them out all that much. It's still a numbers advantage for Checkmate. They still need to work their way into this bomb site. The player at Goose has been found, but there's a double stack on the bomb site, and surely TYLOO does not expect that. Well done from Hasteker.
You know, he had a little bit of extra cash. I was wondering if he was going to go in and save for a double more pretty early off the bat, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be the case. Just Danky with a bit of extra cash.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be more of a farm round for Checkmate than anything else. Never mind. Slowly, the all reliable with the Deagle. There's a double kill for him, and he knows where the last couple of T's are coming from. It's not going to benefit him all that much.
Feeling a little bit too pressured, so going to fall back towards that ramp side, and Checkmate have successfully taken catwalk, but with 36 seconds on the clock, they've been flanked.
Yeah, this is very typical of TYLOO, isn't it? Someone just gets around behind and cleans up three. You think about how easy that looked for Summer. One by one by one, they all go down, and TYLOO wins the round. Well, quickly into the B bomb site goes Checkmate. A decent answer from Summer and somebody. They need more though, and Summer is going to provide it. Maybe, just maybe, we're starting to see
2 clean wins in a row. I mean, that TYLOO, they're building up a little bit of cash, and they force Checkmate on an eco. That is a lot of damage being tanked by the Molotov there from Checkmate. They commit really hard in there, really want to try to get on top of Summer here, but he's just not missing a beat, is he?
No, he's not missing a shot either.
Aggression into lower from Slowly. Checkmate seem aware of it, but Blitz, caught with flash in hand, Slowly is just chucking his best Summer impression right now. Aggressing. TYLOO, you're seeing different players also trying to play off of him, somebody trying to provide some support from those middle doors, but at the moment it's not seeming like Slowly needs any assistance at all.
Tom's going to go deep into the side. That's not going to flush anyone out. You've got a lot of players playing close right now for Checkmate and TYLOO. Well, they're going to have to pick the pace up. They barely have time. Someone's got to get on the defuse right now, and the round is already lost. I think that's pretty ambitious from TYLOO, to be honest. King will find a sneaky one on the way out, but he will eventually die to the bomb as well. Smoke's going to go down here for Coolass, but the full rotations come through for TYLOO. They're going to put all of their eggs into this basket. And why wouldn't you at this point? Somebody does drop, but bomb control is looking pretty decent here for TYLOO. It seems like Coolass might have actually swindled him. Do have Danking watching through mid, and he'll get some tags onto Bart. That's going to provide enough of a distraction for Summer to roll around the corner with an MP9. Who needs the AK? He can get it done with the SMG. And the chances of winning the round now get a bit slimmer and fades away into the distance. Coolass will be checked, but somebody's not going to be able to get the job done here, and neither is Danking by the looks of things. So this pistol round starts off quite poorly for TYLOO, and they're going to have to really fight to get back into it.
Yeah,
that's a good way to do it.
Yeah, all the way through long, taking a lot of those duels, but both of these Checkmate players are still on the A side here, and there's a lot of shots connecting in for Techno.
There is indeed, but so too for Summer.
Still some util here for the CTs. That's one of the flashes that they had on that A site burned. Still a smoke on the site here for Bart. Nicely timed HE nade for Blitz. That's a lot of damage, Jordan.
Very, very nicely timed indeed, Pilsy. You are correct. Blitz tried to salvage, he tried to make advantages happen off the back of those grenades. He wasn't able to. Now it's Coolast who's going to try and answer that call, but the bomb plan is going down as we speak. Yanking will try to provide a little bit of space for Summer to work with here, but just not really being able to do so. It's a 1-for-1 for Summer. Now it's actually down to the 1-on-1, and it's Techno that'll fall. I was going to say, don't count this round out just yet. Do have TYLOO working their way up short. Seems Checkmate has a pretty good idea of where they might be, because that grenade is going to be perfectly timed. Holy cow! That has done so much damage. Somewhere down to 45. He's got full armor as well. Remember that. Blitz and Coolast are going to say thank you very much for the assist.
TYLOO, though, 25 seconds on the clock, going to go once again for some kind of a catwalk exec.
Again, a really nice grenade. They've been super on point from Checkmate so far today. Somebody cops a lot of damage through that smoke, and Summer drops as he tries to make the entries happen. But with a big spray down, will grab himself one before falling. Blitz not overwhelmed, and the B site. But TYLOO definitely pressuring a lot earlier in this round than they have been in previous, and it's starting to draw rotations in toward mid. Checkmate just having a little bit of a look. Bart's going to work his way into bedroom, and that is potentially his undoing, but he still manages to find a couple. What's Techno holding on to? Just a smoke here, surely. Waiting to see if the push is going to come through from TYLOO, and he's going to get confirmation eventually. Well, there's the flash. He does lose a little bit of HP, but he jumps back up on top of the boxes, and eventually will be traded down by Summer, but that is not clean enough from TYLOO. Attacker, he's going to have to win some absolutely ludicrous aim duels. Smokes galore right now for both teams. But TYLOO's going to go through him. Blitz. He was playing anti-flash, so he does deal with it pretty comfortably. Gets himself a double before being traded down. That's more than acceptable. Coolast. Not able to hit his shot, though. Does bring it back to the 3-on-3. And now it starts to get a little bit worrisome for Checkmate. Particularly if Bart drops, which he shouldn't. Not against Yanking, who's on 4 HP, nor against Summer on 2. Pulls the Deagle out and takes the challenge against Attacker. He does not want to stop fighting right now. Attacker is the one that can make the difference in this round. Khalil in hand, he's won it. 3 kills.
Mid to B smokes coming out. It's got to be Coolast to hold strong. Seems to be connecting. He wants to hold on to this side, though. He's not playing retake from upper. He just pushes into heat, and this guy's a madman. But he's just hitting everything.
I actually thought he was going to get that last one onto Summer as well. Luckily for TYLOO, that's not the case. But I'm not sure that Summer has the time to get the bomb plant down here. And Coolast. Bart's hiding in the smoke. And Summer's waiting for the rotation to come through. TYLOO still have a decent amount of time. But Summer, yeah, he's on for one here. Gets the 3v onto Bart. The rest of the progression is going nicely enough for TYLOO. But kills do come through for the CT side, and now Blitz will hold strong on A. These Mongolian lads are pretty sharp, I tell you that much at least. And now Attacker tasked with the 1-on-2. Well, talk about sharp. There's another example of it. He's going to get the bomb plant down here, but will he get back up in time? Will he survive? Will he spot the... What is that?
A perfect example of someone who uses mouse excel correctly, I suppose. Oh, very, very quick play into what's long from both teams. Checkmate just throwing everything into this fight, but they're all dropping.
TYLOO have been given some time to get into post plants. Attacker's going to find the first one. That's a good sign for TYLOO. They needed the first. And, they're going to be given a bit of a freebie by Blitz, who gets a headshot into Coolest on the back of the head. It's all a bit unfortunate now for Checkmate because time is starting to run down. Summer probably does just drop in time, though. And Checkmate managed to salvage the round. Jeez. It's just Bart that's left alive. He surely can't get more than 2, but 3 is on offer. What on earth is that? 3 with the FAMAS. The bomb is dropped, and TYLOO is scrambling. Hasteka is going to wrap around behind these 2 remaining TYLOO players, and the round is surely gone. Bart is on ramp. He'll get slowly. He's on for the ace now as well, and he'll need it. He'll get it. What a round from Bart.
Oh, sorry, Hasteka is over towards middle, and those supportive flashbangs would really be helping Blitz out here. He's scrambling to get back into position. He's going to start pegging them over the top and trying to crossfire with his player over towards the pillar. But somebody charges forward and is going to clear out the site.
It's going to be a bomb plant down for TYLOO, so mission successful in that department. But how much more can they find? It's 3-on-3. Players are low for Checkmate. I'd be feeling a little bit concerned if I was a CT right now. Watching this retake happen, it looks like they might just get it over the line. Danking's position now is known, and how they've gotten away with 3 guns there, Pilski, I've no idea. But they do manage to win the round, and Checkmate will breathe a sigh of relief. Slowly. Does have one of those AKs in hand, and he's actually put it to good use. Hastika loses his head, but a very quick trade back from Blitz. It still looks pretty good for Checkmate, particularly off the back of that shot from Coolast. Brings them back into a numbers advantage. Blitz again going to be playing this aggressive position. It's a lot of info on ramp. He's even going to re-aggress as well. TYLOO just not expecting that at all. And Checkmate are definitely putting the numbers on the board right now on the CT side of Vertigo. This is very impressive. He sees him, but Summer's just crouching down a little bit too low for Blitz to get anything done here. And now TYLOO cotton on to the fact that there is a boost in effect. Slowly continues to get work done. This could be a 3K on offer. Doesn't quite land the shots onto Coolast. And that's actually going to allow Checkmate to rotate their way back over to B quite quickly.
TYLOO, though, they're making their way over here. Coolast getting flashed off the line time and time again, but he's still been able to find a nice timing. And TYLOO reconsidering if they want to really be pushing into this site, delaying utility coming in as well.
There's not a whole lot of util left for TYLOO, just a couple of smokes, so they won't be feeling too confident to try and take that challenge against the AWP. But they're going to go ahead and do so anyway. Coolast is solo, so you have to think that the trade potential is there for TYLOO. Bomb plant has to go down. They have to dispatch him. They've checked all the wrong angles. It was only Coolast. TYLOO's going to do a little bit of sneaky beaky themselves. Pop a couple of players up at the wood wall. Coolast has been spotted, but now the firing squad will be put into action. Techno has gotten around behind. Bombs dropped all the way back down the stairs. That's horrible news for TYLOO. Slowly, he's going to have to try and go and retrieve it on his own. He does get that aim duel win. And somebody creeps forward toward Generator. Spots one out. Blitz gets deleted, and so does Bart. And there it is, Pilski. Bart boosted up, is going to be fine for now behind the smoke. There's another one to come down from TYLOO. Rotation has definitely come across for the Ts. The CT's there as well. Danking will find his first frag of the half, but not the second. Coolast will put him to bed. Needs to fall onto the riflers to get the job done for TYLOO, and they have been slowly but surely turning their half around. Techno continuing to impress. The orbs are just so good for Checkmate today. But they will come undone, I think, here. And TYLOO get their third in a row.
Nice little stack over towards secret side here. Danking, confidence frags. Not really anything to talk about here for Checkmate.
Techno's on a pretty cheeky angle. Slowly. Oh, he's not going to clear it, is he? And Blitz has somehow gotten around behind. What? Checkmate again are doing TYLOO things against TYLOO, and Blitz gets a triple. He's heard Slowly's footsteps as well, eager for that challenge. It is his undoing.
This round is chaos.
Every round is chaos between these two teams, I think. Techno's gotten one more, but Attacker. Blitz is coming back from behind on ramp, but TYLOO does seem to have an awareness that that could be a possibility, and Summer will check it at the perfect time. Great crosshair placement. Onto the defuse is Techno. He's just going to try and make it happen, but Attacker. We'll see what Checkmate can get away with here. If they make it to 10, you know, it's definitely not a bad half, but
Oh no.
chances are they might not make it to 10.
Team flashed, and they lose the AWP with a buy like this.
So he's getting a lot of work done in mid again. He opens it up. He's been so good at locking down that area of the map for TYLOO. Danking up to his usual tricks now. It took a long time to get rolling. He was 0 for 9 or something, but now he's picked up 7 frags towards the tail end of the half, and what a difference that has made for TYLOO. It's Hastika solo with an MP9 against 5 TYLOO players to find the final round in the half.
Gonna need to see another good start here for Checkmate. T-side pistol would definitely help them out. Initial duels are being taken over here towards ramp. TYLOO, though, not really contesting Secret too much. A bunch of players up towards the crates area. Double smokes do come out. The full wall for Checkmate. A flash to try to help them out as well. But in the meanwhile, Checkmate are trying to walk towards stairs. Attackers got that in check. Somebody's picked up Blitz as well. And this has just not gone so well for the T side, has it? Those are some really sharp shots on the USP attacker. He has shown us some excellent displays of aim and mechanics so far in this series. It's been really awesome to watch. Yeah, they're building an infinity pool on this skyscraper, Jordan. They're going to swim down the waterfall.
Oh, take me back. Take me back to Malaysia.
Oh, yeah.
The infinity pool. Those were some good times. Anyways, that was not a good time for Checkmate.
Dan King's waddled over in his scuba gear to pop onto this line. Some are watching for the boost. But he's going to cop... okay, that did no damage. Why not?
Just cause. Look, to be fair, Checkmate's damage from grenades on Dust 2 was absolutely insane, so I think it's kind of fair that one goes back the other way. That's a nice kill for Blitz, but he's going to need more, and Summer will not allow that. Not on Summer's watch. Overall, not bad trades from TYLOO in the end. It was an explosive round from Checkmate. He's definitely seen something, and he's going to make it happen. Dan King drops. That's going to draw the attention of the rest of the TYLOO players. Good flashes in the end, helping Summer out. I don't know if it was a team flash or not, but Summer gets 3. He's still alive behind Generator. He'll eventually fall to Blitz, but he's done such a great job. Really relying on Slowly to clutch this round out, 2-on-1.
He's read it super well, though. He was pretty quick on the rotation over towards ramp, so he might really have a great timing here to find Hastecker before the other player repositions. That is great crosshair placement from the man, and he's even anticipating the walk straight through Secret, but Blitz a little bit quicker on the draw. Flashes could be the saving grace here for Checkmate. See how they use them.
I mean, Summer's got a smoke to put on the bomb, but it doesn't really help when you've got a 10-second defuse to make. So TYLOO has to find some kills. They've got to do it the old-fashioned way. Blitz might just give it to them. There's a 1-for-1 on offer for Slowly. Now it's time for someone to get on that defuse. The peak is through from Cooler.
Checkmate getting ready to size up this B site yet again, but there's already 3 players over here.
Attack has been good, and he's going to go one better again. A double kill from him, a double kill from Dan King, and with that, the hopes.
TYLOO leaving mid almost completely open. He'll slowly comes back in on the late rotation, just in time to catch some of these T's going up over the jump up.
Summer in a good spot to deal with it though, and he does manage to grab at least the one. There's numbers there for TYLOO, and they've gotten it done. 16-14. Well, 2-0 today for TYLOO as they get the better of Checkmate. Pilski, that was pretty much the scoreline that we had anticipated, but the fashion in which it came about was a little bit closer than we would have thought. And, you know, you got to give you credit to Checkmate. They put in 2 really competitive maps there, Dust 2 and Vertigo. I would have maybe expected one. I would have said, all right, Dust 2, you know, that's your map choice. Give them hell, essentially. But on Vertigo, I didn't expect a huge amount from Checkmate, and they actually really stepped up and did a very, very good job, but unfortunately just couldn't quite get it over the line. You know, once again, just another instance of a very close map that is won by the favorite, and you have to feel a bit sorry for the underdog because they put in all that work, and end of the day, it's still a 0-2 for them. Obviously, we've talked about it. ViCi Gaming and TYLOO once again do meet one another in the upper bracket final. In the lower bracket, NKT and Checkmate. This is pretty much how we thought things were going to go. Yeah, let's take a look at the matchup here as well. Of course, we've been talking about it already. It is ViCi and TYLOO. And historically speaking, yeah, looking at the more recent results from these 2 teams, it does definitely seem to be favoring ViCi for the most part. There was that little speed bump in Perfect World Season 1 where TYLOO got the better of ViCi in, I think it was actually the upper bracket of the playoffs, but they did end up going on to lose in the grand final to ViCi ultimately. So I think, you know, you look at the more important results, the more important tournaments, and for the most part, they have been going the way of ViCi. Someone's just hiding in the cave. He doesn't really have too much backup on the B site, so if he gets found out and run over, that could be a FAMAS in the hands of ViCi. Not quite what they're going for. They're a little bit more interested in getting the bomb plant down. Not too many opportunities for frags here. In fact, really no damage done by ViCi at all until Summer. He's in such a good spot to deal with it, and he will do so accordingly. A double, and the woes continue for ViCi Gaming. Oh, that is a filthy angle from Orman that I've not actually seen too much before. Summer is going to be put on fire, and he's eventually going to be traded down by said fire. It is a 1-for-1, though, in the grand scheme of things. 3 for him in the round. It's Orman and Jamyoung that have to try to survive and keep this one alive for ViCi Gaming. What they don't know is that Slowly is creeping up behind them, and that inevitably is going to be there. Hasn't gone too well for them. Attacker doubles down once again. It just doesn't seem like ViCi can make the inroads that they want to. That is a nice shot from Orman, though, but it's going to take them too long to get back over to A. They need to find the kills here on B. TYLOO's been scrambling a little bit. They actually think it's back over toward A, and unfortunately still doesn't work out for ViCi. They kind of pulled that rotation.
Can't afford that against TYLOO. They will punish.
Slowly. Looks like he wants to take an aggressive fight,
Wow.
and this time it's not going to work out. That is a pretty nice entry from Advent. Somebody is caused to fall across on the rotate, and he might actually... What? How has he gotten away with a double there?
Yeah.
Starting to do a bit of sleuthing and figuring out what's happening over there toward B. Summer is posted on the line, and Orman just goes a little bit too far around the corner to chuck that smoke and leaves it now once again on Kaze. Prior, it was a 1-on-2. Now it's a 1-on-4. And that is almost impossible against a team like TYLOO, but he's making it happen, finding the 1-on-1s. Maybe some inroads to be made here by TYLOO. Bit of a scramble for Danking, to be honest. He needs to be hitting his shots right now, and so far, he is doing just that. Slowly dropped, but Danking is the man right now for TYLOO. He just doesn't stop. And the time is bought. The rotation is there from ViCi. And it looks like, once again, it is put into a safe place for TYLOO. Summer seems to be quite keen on it. They've got plenty of cash. They might as well give it a crack. That's going to hurt. Kaze down. Jamyoung as well. Is there someone on the defuse? If not, it's too little too late. And unfortunately, Orman...
Very deep smoke cave and all the way into CT. CT's trying to dive through it and take some duels. Jamyoung trying to do the impression of attacker from the last time, but slowly got a little bit too much space in there and puts the Glock to good use. And surely this pistol goes the way of TYLOO.
Oh, rip my heart out and throw it away, you know? If a 13-2 half wasn't enough, Slowly getting a triple kill like that on the pistol is just put ViCi to bed. Orman's trying to find those taps past the box, but... not going to get an opportunity. Slowly's going to be leading the charge. He's spotted out Jamyoung. No troubles there, dispatching of that player, and continues to find space deeper and deeper into the bomb site. Goes TYLOO. There is no stopping them right now. See what they can do. Kaze might just get run down by Danking. Oh, God forbid he gets a double there. That would have just been the nail in the coffin. But of course, it's traded out, so it's almost as bad. A bit of work courtesy of Advent, but he's going to have to go on the reload, which means Jamyoung is forced in for the trade. Summer desperately trying to plant the bomb. He might not need to do too much work. Slowly has it on lockdown, and so does TYLOO. That's map number 1 done and dusted. 16-2. Danking's in a bit of an interesting spot here, but somebody's going to get his head banged off, and now you can imagine Danking's going to try and find the trade, the flash. Oh, it's not going to matter. Again, Tech9 pulled out, and it is just a little bit too powerful for TYLOO. Still, ViCi trying to make some inroads. There's another one for Kaze, and with that, maybe a chance for ViCi Gaming. Danking now has a 1-on-2, and really, it's only Jamyoung that's actually defending the B site itself. Somebody will look for the shots. There was 2 players. He's combed that over to Summer, who will get the couple of trades he needs. Now it's on to Jamyoung, and unfortunately, he can't lock it down on the site. Zoking face tanks a flash, and will actually get the kills that he needs to hold the bomb site in safety. Danking drops as well. TYLOO's faking over towards the B side of the map, and Zoking's going to spot them all out. There is a 1-for-1 trade, but that, more importantly, is information for ViCi. Another trade comes through, but eventually there are one too many CTs waiting for TYLOO. Summer and somebody have to come scrambling over, straight out the smoke. Summer, he's just dove into the B bomb site, got an important frag onto Orman, biding his time, but Advent is looking pretty sharp. Definitely going to be a B hit here from TYLOO, but with somebody getting spotted out, now the game is up, and TYLOO is going to have to throw all that util that they had prepared directly into the bomb site. Kaze still defending with the AWP. He'll get another one. That's 3 already for the round. He might be on for the ace, to be honest there, Pilski. Obviously still a fair bit more work to do in this series, but they haven't kicked things off quite the way they'd have liked to have. It was a good duel against somebody, but he hits a couple of nice headshots, and the round falls up.
Want to start to size up this A site.
Yeah, but they're walking into a bit of a trap, aren't they, Pilski? There's 4 TYLOO players already over here. Summer is going to get dislodged from his position and will be taken down. That's a good start by ViCi with the Molotov onto the balcony, but they've got way more work to do, and unfortunately, it hasn't gone the way they'd have liked it to. Couple of players getting traded back down, and now Orman kind of seems like he has to be the difference maker. He has to be the X factor here from Connector. But Slowly's definitely keeping an eye on that area of the map. Timing doesn't quite work out for Orman. Now has to win a tough battle, and he can't do it. Another very solid hold from TYLOO. Attacker underneath the balcony waiting to receive, and Summer's also there keeping an eye on that Palace exit, but he's got the timing a little bit wrong to fall off the line, and that's going to result in the death of Attacker, courtesy of Orman. He was a little bit preoccupied, and now Summer's going to have to do the damage himself, and that does not seem to be a problem at all. What a round by Summer.
Once again.
Somebody is waiting. He wants to re-peek, and that was a mistake. Jam Young punishes him for it, but Slowly and Attacker are already here, and the damage is done. Information given over to the CT side. Orman's on the rotate cross. And he'll deal with both Summer and Dan King, so maybe still a chance in this round for ViCi. They'll exit out of B. Orman's just winning this round solo.
Yeah, I mean, he is liable to do that from time to time. We've seen some pretty insane performances from this man against this exact team. He even takes a lot of the HP off of Attacker, so he has done absolutely everything he can. Summer playing from behind the fireboxes, and the first pick goes the way very quickly of somebody, and he is always a man who's liable for a bit of a re-peek.
Yeah, he was unlucky not to get the second kill there as well. Just didn't quite connect the shot, but the main sticking point in this round is the fact that Summer has not been checked, so he's going to creep around and find a double kill. That might even be a third for him, and that might be the round and series over as well. Kaze doing his best, and, well, his best is pretty good, but he's standing inside of a Molotov, so unfortunately, he cannot get it over the line this time for ViCi Gaming. It has been a rather tough night for them, and a very nice return to form for TYLOO after what we saw yesterday against Checkmate. They're looking like a dominant force in this tournament. A 2-0 today for TYLOO will send them to the grand final. I think for us tonight, that's a little bit of a surprise. We probably were looking towards this one to be the one that would break that drought. The 2 round 1 matches, you know, TYLOO, ViCi, we probably expect them to get over the line against their opponents pretty comfortably, generally speaking. But when they play against one another, we think it's going to be a close series. And today was anything but that. I mean, just an absolute dominance slaughter, really, on Ancient. And then Mirage, there was a little bit more life in ViCi, but unfortunately just not up to the task today against TYLOO.
NKT taking on Checkmate in a lower brackets best of 3. And Dust, although neither of these teams can mathematically qualify for the major, obviously there's a ton of other things on the line. You have the ESL Pro Tour points and of course the prize pool on top of it. But this is do or die. We're in our first elimination matchup of the tournament. That was a meme for a while, ripping pepperonis for NIP players. Excurate in the meanwhile, though, with his Galil, splatters down the first. Oh, they're not going to check the angle. And Hasteka could be in for 2. Needs to land the headshots. There's 1 and a second.
But Bartek is watching for it from the floor, so at least it's not completely unguarded.
Feels like it's a one and done for Bartek, though, like, surely. But they don't force out. That looked like it could get dangerous really quick. And although another headshot has been funneled in, it falls into Impression, who had more than enough HP to swap that one away. Zayn now with his Mac 10 in midair claims the last frag of the round, and it will be the force buy. And Zayn again, he has the expendable weapon of the Mac 10. He may as well go in first, and hey, he may even get a ton of frags and a ton of money in his back pocket as a result. Excurate's fallen down though, and Zayn is down to 4 HP, but now the cavalry comes in as Bartek with a Mac 10 has been forced away from vents. He's given up position, runs through the fire and flames, nearly takes down Impression, who survives on 11.
And so therefore they're kind of just giving up outside so they can kind of just double up and set up this crossfire here, as you can kind of see with Coolass and co. Coolass though gets dunked on by a grenade, but Blitz on this flank catches them in the back, and that was what they were looking for the whole time, Vince.
That's the play that they were trying to really explode into and release that trap. Zion, in the meanwhile, has had so much influence and impact and success playing aggressive, mainly with the MAC-10, but now with the AK, the traded up weapon, finds himself Azteca, and is able to transition into another one. Bartak falls by the wayside. The trajectory of that grenade gives Techno's position away. They know he's heaven, but there's only 22 seconds left. Grenade does nothing. Barely scratches the surface. Exactly. And they capitalized on that as they chomped down on Blitz, and there was no re-engagement from Heaven either. 10 seconds to play with. One of these three is going to be preoccupied with the bomb plan, but Zion, it's so damn good right now as he picks up an ace.
I think they got this in the bag, man. They had such good positioning. It's going to be a late upper hit from NKT, and the angles that they're at is going to be so hard to clear. Well, still, this angle Azteca has, and Cool Ass is still here as well. Okay, I don't know. I'm all the way out. I try to give him some hope. I try.
7 seconds for this plant, but more than enough time for Extra to dial in the digits and get it down on the ground. Some speculative shots out there from Secret, but it is more of the same. And yes, impression falls down, but what does it really matter come the end of this round? Sure, maybe they can save an AK. It's not too shabby.
Oh, 2 rifles maybe saved, actually. Yeah, I mean, if the score was like 1-4 and they were saving 2 weapons, I think it would be something maybe to get excited about. But when you're about to be down to 1-10, who gives a flip? You know? Let's be real about it.
Oh.
As he tries to creep around to the opposite corner, trying to scope things out. Now knows one is still in sight behind Silo, but knowing is half the battle. He gets the kill, gets it back into a 2-2, can smoke. Maybe even that defuse, but oh, Zion. This maneuver.
Oh, that's it.
Oh my goodness.
That's surely it.
Oh! Yeah, it is now at that Molotov.
Yep. Because although Zion was low, he obviously has extra that he can play off as well. And Zion gets put down as he tries to go hunting for the last frag. Azteca may die to the bomb here. This is fine for NKT. Actually survives. I'm surprised
How
he's
they
able
both
to survive
survive?
that. What is that bomb? Faulty? Oh no, what the hell was that?
Fortunately for this game.
Already downstairs, Techno, good shots, connecting, and a third. Looking good. The Checkmate at least will come out of this half with 2. Unlikely to be enough, but at least it does play for a little bit more pride.
If Checkmate lose this, bro, I don't know what to tell you.
There we have it. They're looking to try and push their way in. Bartak down on the lower side is anticipating that flash to come in. Peeks back up. Good frags coming from him and Techno. And another 4 bodies hit the floor in the space of a few moments. And Urkast, as well as he has played, can only really sit and watch as his teammates fall around him. And now he will join them in.
Yeah, Score still holding ramp position, does take out Azteca. That opens up a lobby flank option to make this retake a little bit, you know, easier. And they will have man advantage. They do have some flashes as well to put to use, but that Molotov going to kind of slow Heaven down. And now Blitz is going to get caught by Score, and so they're just kind of running people out there, and this is going to put them in a tough spot to hold site now.
This reeks of desperation. The flash is going to proceed to push, and the spray transfer is good. Kulas still alive at the site, but had so many angles to cover, and Bartak is the last player to fall. And with a lack of kit, it's going to be very close, but they should have this defuse. Indeed, they will, with a couple of moments to spare. So it will be 14-5, but that reeked of desperation to me, Dustin. A 5v5 when you have players pushing left and right. Well, is it going to be a heroic last push? Or is it going to be a bit of a whimper come the end of this engage? So far, so bad. As Impression and Zion have both sprayed down, it's looking like it's all over. Just a matter of moments away. And NKT put the final nail in the coffin of Nuke.
Azteca knows it and just runs all the way away. Back to Subway.
Cast with the frag just before the smoke fully blooms. They decide to push through, but Kulas is taking 2 heads. And with his teammate low, he has to be the main man, the protagonist of this story, but down he will fall from the back. Azteca was stuck on the wrong side of the smoke, having very little impact. Now the bomb is planted out there, and actually he's done enough. He's won the round by himself, just forcing away the player off the bomb. Very similar start to how Nuke opened up. Obviously, we know how that one ended. Excurate stuck at the back of the site. Flashes being traded between the 2 teams, and now they're looking to try and funnel their way and bridge the gap. FAMAS rings out with good flashbangs alongside it. And it's Excurate that breaks the deadlock and breaks the neck of the first player over on Checkmate. But the bomb is being planted down, successfully now put in, but no one is there to help Techno out. And 3 shots across. They can't claim the frag onto Kulast. Out comes Kulast now, and he gets finished off. And it's only Blitz and a stacker remaining. And actually, scratch that. No one stands any longer for Checkmate.
Going to be a full-on B rush from Checkmate, at least trying to get a bomb plant. That incendiary, though, and this HE grenade going to slow them down.
Decides to pick up the pace.
Impression?
That looked to me like he had some kind of mouse issue, if I'm being honest.
Yes. Yeah, I got the same exact vibe. It seemed like either something happened with his PC or his mouse. Incendiary to put in the play to where they could still maybe make this happen, but Blitz is playing such a tricky angle.
Oh, he's going to fall back inside Molotov as well as burning alive. Blitz, you got to get back up there again. And he gets aggressive, but he gets put down. 2 frags in quick succession. Here's the spray in, but he can't quite get the job done. And now Kulast on 26 HP just has to try and buy time. He falls down. Is there enough time for the defuse? They're off it. He's going to win the round off that basis. Checkmate get their 3rd. Yep, different angle this time, more situated towards ramp, and he has Excurate who can help him out if he's called upon. Flash out, Flash is going to yield the frag. Actually, as Excurate comes back in with his AWP, but he's going to get caught out, does get 2 frags. Urkas now stuck on the site by himself. There's a lot of damage been done to these Ts, but Bartak's already moved up close.
As now Checkmate have a chance to take the lead back here, unless Impression can clutch it 1v2 now. Both players are low on health. And he checks his corner. He has a 1v1 now, and the boss hasn't even made it into the site yet, and he gets it! What a play from Impression. Well handled. Zine still patrolling long here. He has a smoke up, but now he's putting himself on an island by playing this corner. He could get traded. I mean, it's Glocks, but up close, they could still get this. I mean, never mind. Never mind.
That could have easily been another one in favor of NKT. Zine is still alive on the site. That molly won't be affecting him anytime soon. And he can sit behind these boxes. Bomb starts to get planted. There's one. Knows the player right around the corner and picks up the 2nd. But he cannot stay alive for any longer. And Impression is already clutched another 1v1. He's surely done the second he comes around the corner. He's not expecting Bartak to be here. And it is all over for this half. On the line here. 1-4 trade. Still will favor Checkmate, of course. Excurate has a good idea.
Just in time.
2 headshots back to back. Unbelievable pistol aim. They walked into him and he punished them. And our post plant in effect with NKT with a chance to pick up our 2nd pistol. Zine stuck on the site, trying to bypass these 2 players, can hear the footsteps, and he puts 2 headshots down range of his own. An excellent comeback in the round, and we're tied up once again. Oh, this is all a ruse as well, because the bomb is about to transfer through long.
Bartak, though, has a great position.
Oh, dear.
My God.
He's got to get at least 1 there, surely.
Oh, yeah. The Kulast now in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to face cat cross and long pressure. It's a nice shot, though. 2 nice shots, but quickly traded back into a 2-on-2 for the T side, but they got to be careful.
Oh, he's walked out prematurely. There's 13 seconds left, and Blitz is still here. Extra nades going across. The spray's in good for 1, but Excurate comes back, and with 8 seconds on the clock, NKT get it done again. They're in real trouble now. We did discuss this before the round got started. They're going to decide to push up middle. Hastek has had a rough game so far with just 4 frags and 40 ADR. The smoke is down. It is capable of actually yielding frags, but now Techno comes back in with a P250. 4 frags have gone down. They're being engaged upon at multiple angles, and Urkas gets picked off through the smoke.
Oh, no.
The only low player is Bartak, and he's not going to get pushed into. Techno, however, will. They line up for him, and the SG 17 seconds, guys. Someone's got to do something. You've got to start pushing. You need those entries as fast as possible. You've lost the first player, but Impression round the back has got himself 1 more. Exploding into the round. 8 seconds to go. And Bartak finishes off what he started. Frags across the board. Now they need one of these pistols to go above and beyond to just pull out a masterful clutch position. They line up for the deagle, and they're being put down where they stand. And now the Tech 9 is all that remains. And Impression needs to try and whittle away this time. Loses his life. Has he done enough? I think he may very well have done so. It's going to be incredibly close, but this bomb will be exploding any second now, and with a millisecond left.
And will they clear Bartak off of Goose? I mean, that's the real question.
That's the problem. When you have such low time, There's a couple angles, may go unchecked, and the Impression's about to get wide swung. I cannot believe he's managed to get that frag. He will be put down afterwards. Now, Kulas on the site, and Bartak decides to actually push out, and they're actually repelling this push. 12 seconds left. NKT gets sprayed down again, and now it's the turn.
Big B tunnel focus retake here. Impression low on health. T's have to respect the other angles. They can't put all their focus on tunnels.
Execute's about to peek around the corner. There's one and a second as well. Execute goes down. It's going to be so close, and Impression puts the bullets down range. We go to OT. Exactly.
This looked way cleaner. Way more tempo, but not a risky version. Because it's not like they didn't try to go fast. They did. It was always these weird pushes out along through smokes.
Still 6 players left, but it's split down the middle. Zine still up close, still has the ability to rip this round away, and no one is watching from the ramp. Sprays in, it's labored though, and so he will be punished by Blitz, who's now stuck on the side by himself. Needs to try and stay alive for his teammate, but down he will fall. Techno trying to hold on with the AK. Good spray, and Execute down on 13 HP. Doesn't have the time, doesn't have the health. Congregating on towards the catwalk area, already taking up a little bit of control. Good flick from Execute as he falls off. 35 frag is dialed in, and it could be more, and it will be more. Another great flick across. The hemorrhaging utility can't really afford to fully flash across, and Execute goes from strength to strength. It's yet another frag in his hands. 3 already, could be 4, and it will be. What a round from Execute.
B-Rush might be the counter. Counter incendiary, though, going to slow it down. Nice nade comes in. Oh, my God, they're getting chunked. Oh, my God, they're getting chunked.
So much damage. That's going to be it for this round, surely. Incendiary will finish off Kulas, who's on 23 HP. No, he actually dives across just in time. And the OT will always cause this. Both teams will be feeling the pinch if they lose the first 2 rounds. That's exactly what's coming up. He's about to get sideswiped. Did they catch him around the box? Well, now they definitely know he's here. An Impression just takes his head off at range. Really nice shot.
I mean, this guy just doesn't miss. They flashed him like 3 times. Didn't care. This is over.
Cast double spray and a 3rd as well. Now this is the NKT we're expecting, and he finishes it with style, a 1 tap.
I mean, he has been absolutely absurd, this OT, with the op. Flashes, smokes, doesn't matter. And now B is exposed. 1 player here, Azteca with the op. Surely he gets traded. Or not. Mid flank also coming in here from Techno. He's going to get into lower. This gets a little bit scary now if you're on the attacking side. You need to make sure Techno doesn't ruin your plans. Oh, God. What a shot from Azteca. And capitulation right before your eyes.
Good shot from Azteca, somewhat gift wrapped across to him, and now NKT looking to try and bypass this A defense. 1 for 1, not good enough. They need to build on this. Player to the back of the ramp. Gonna be flashed in. Urkas taking flashes, but still takes down Kulas in the process. 15 seconds to play with. Urkas in for another headshot. Is there more in his sleeve? No, he comes to an abrupt end, but he's done enough to allow Execute to go in for the post plant. And keep in mind, this is the man on fire right now. 42 frags. Sees the shot come from lower tunnels, or ramp, pardon me. And it's the other player that came from the lower tunnels now to the CT spawn. Execute, still a man on a mission. Will be peeked in. First frag goes his way, and the second as well. And Execute puts an end to this match and eliminates Checkmate.
Checkmate eliminated with nothing, no Pro Tour points, no money. Unfortunate, they will be empty-handed at the end of this event. Meanwhile, we have a situation where now NKT guaranteed 3rd place, so guaranteed at least some Pro Tour points and some prize money, but a chance maybe to still get second, still wind up in the grand finals against ViCi. If they can get that W tomorrow, and maybe even play spoiler. If they beat ViCi tomorrow, TYLOO are guaranteed the major. ViCi has no contest anymore in that. So definitely a lot of storylines are going to be in play tomorrow. Important for ViCi to get the W tomorrow to stay in competition. If they get eliminated in 3rd, TYLOO guaranteed the major. yesterday we followed NKT eliminating Checkmate. A little bit of a labored one to do it. Dust2 went into multiple overtimes, I believe, before NKT was able to 2-0 that series and move on today to play against ViCi. And then, yeah, again, TYLOO waiting in the wings of the grand final for the victor of today's match. Again, that would be a weighted best of 5, where TYLOO, coming from the upper bracket, will have a 1-map advantage. They would just need to get 2 in that series, whereas the other team has to run it all the way back and wind up winning 3 maps to be able to get the job done.
Indeed, and although NKT can't themselves mathematically qualify for the major, as we've already talked about, they can play spoiler, but additionally, they can also get those all-important Pro Tour points that is going to be very, very important going through. Actually going to be taking the initiative and push into the T's, and although he hits the shin, it's not enough. The frag and score punishes both Advent and Zhao King at very little HP in return. That's a horrible start for the CTs.
They're going to even get a window boost in play as well. It is going to get spotted, though, but doesn't matter. Knowing it's half the battle, Aircast and Score come out, get their 2 kills, and now Kaze left. Very lonely here with the Silence M4 at the back of the A site. Not even able to get one. Another flawless round from NKT. Yeah, this is a good transition. They still have Zion that could be the late play through B to get in behind this retake. If they can keep their other players alive, this would be massive. But no, Jamyoung stays his ground and catches that flank. And now the retake is well and truly on. Score alone in a 1v3. Bomb already being defused. It's planted for him, but he's got to get past these guys first. It's a nice op hit onto Almond, but there's no way. Oh, is that Molotov actually going to stop the defuse? No, just barely gets through before dying to the fire. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. It's still a 2-on-2 formation, which keeps 2 players on the B site, one of which is Jamyoung. And with this AWP, he's put 2 bullets down range and claims 2 frags. Score and Excurate do at least bounce back, though. May not anticipate the 3rd player to be here, so Advent could maybe just deny this bomb plant, but Excurate takes him down even with a flashbang alongside it. 5 seconds to spare, but more than enough time for the bomb plant. As things have quickly shimmied in favor of NKT. Gets that little bit sweeter now as Kaze is last man standing. And he's going to get faced off. Great shot into Excurate. But he's not interested to stick around and find out what happens next.
And Aircast has not played his hand just yet. He's being very patient about this. He's just listening to these transitions, and now he might even be able to get in behind. And they have no idea. This is a big play from Aircast. And what's Advent looking at?
So it changes the dynamic of this round now significantly. First spray is good from Jamyoung, but he's about to get pincered in if he's not careful. Although, that being said, Aumann does hold his resolve. His tag team partner of Jamyoung has been silenced. And Aumann is living on borrowed time. 46 HP left. AK now traded up. Doesn't have the kit, but does have utility. However, he's down to 20 HP now. And a third of the fuse left on the bomb. He needs to get success, and he needs it instantly. Instead, Zion puts him out of his misery, and it will be a 10-5 lead for NKT.
Yeah, that was a very explosive strike from Jamyoung there with the double to control this A site. Bomb down easily. Retake going to be very difficult. Now only 3 members left to do it. Excurate does spot a player here. Gets the first strike, but he's got so many people to worry about. Yet he's getting all the headshots to connect with Impression, but Kaze and Zoking, right before it hit that critical mass in his little hidey hole, now steps out though. Does get his kill. Picks up an AK. Quickly traded. Let's smoke this window.
So King in for a few as well. And now Jamyoung comes out with the AK. Aumann on the cross. Not required. Kaze gets there first. Beats him to the punch. And with a flash for the peak, Score can do little here, but try and pick up the scraps. That's a hell of a shot into Aumann.
There is a chance NKT could disturb this.
It's an unfortunate Molotov from Impression's viewpoint. It forces him out. He had to move, but Score still threads the headshot with the Deagle. Still alive. There's a second frag from Score, and Urcast also chipped in. They walk into the trap, and the trap proves to be so deadly and costly. ViCi now have Aumann left alive, but the first and only round that NKT have picked up on their CT side is off the back of 3 or 4 1-deeks. It's the grand final day as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
The one you really want to be there for, and both teams are battling for that very position. It is a headshot instantly, but of course with the USP, won't be taking down any players anytime soon. What time? He's got 2 frags out of nothing. What a scrappy fight this is, and although it's going to go the way of ViCi, it's at the cost of 3 players, and it's not as if ViCi have tons of money. And credit to ViCi as well for stalling them for that long, but you need someone to take the initiative. Or you just go save.
Yeah, I mean, definitely good positioning from ViCi, good counter utility to kind of keep halting them. I mean, yeah, they definitely did their job. Don't get me wrong, but I just feel like if you're going to play for the A retake, you got to have a little bit more in the bag for it, as we are going to see a quick B attack here from ViCi to try to end this.
This could be it. This could be the last passage of play on NKT's choice of Mirage, and Zoking has carved a path through the skull of Score, and all the bodies beginning to fall into place. Only Zion remains with the CZ, not for much longer. It will be the 16-14 victory and heartbreak again for NKT. It's tagged through the wall, but survives. 2 players low. Impression has now been finished off. This is actually a winnable round. There's enough time for the plant. They also have 3 flashes and an AK alongside AWP. Now, this grenade could do some serious damage, banking off the wall. Incendiary behind it actually finishes off Jam because Urkas was accompanied by Score. NKT on their T side looking to get explosive. Flashbang in towards the site, and they're already just piling on in. The Julies are good for 1. Zoking no falls prey, and the Julies on the return fire from Impression take down 2 players with Alman getting splattered through the smoke. Only Jam and Kaze remain. And that HE has damage written all over it. Oh my goodness, Kaze has just been absolutely chomped off that HE and finished off. But now Jam comes in with frags. 2 kills, nice try. But NKT get it done.
Oh, he comes back up.
Oh, it's so huge. It's such a good play from Jam Young, but now he needs to make sure he stays alive a little bit longer. 3 kills, using that smoke to perfection, and Score with his dig. Stuck behind a box, finished off.
And so that may give him a false sense of security, and it may just set Kaze up to get an easy spray down here with the MP9, and yeah, they have no idea. I'm sure Aircast is probably confused because he did look down several times. So it's all going to come down to whether or not Aircast is able to win this duel against Zoking. Oh my god, Zoking looked away literally right the second that Aircast peaks.
Take a leaf out of the NKT playbook.
They're messing around though a little bit here with Aircast. Aircast though says nah.
There is an AWP watching the cross downstairs though, Kaze, but the smoke allows them safe passage across, and now there's an AWP trained up. Excurate has had a rough game, there's no 2 ways about it. He's on 6 frags. He may be put down again, and indeed he will. His opposite number takes his head clean off his shoulders, nearly flicks in for another one. Down on Decon, Kaze has outrageous game sense, and Zine, although he's tagged down heavily, is still alive to tell the tale. Impression trying to put some pressure down here. The Molotov comes out, the rush in, even trades back and forth, but now Impression is last man standing. There isn't that much time left on the clock, but he decides to peek out and gets punished. But there is no kit.
No kit.
I don't think there's going to be enough time for this either, although it's going to be incredibly close.
Oh my god, it's so close.
Is there time for this defuse? It's going to be milliseconds away. Oh, it's going to blow up in their face. His periphery of those flames was blocking his vision a little bit. Now Score spotted him. No reason to peek back in again. The fact he's still here is terrifying to me. I don't know why, but at least he's forced them away.
Yeah, he's throwing down. You know, he's forcing the fall back, and now it's the spray down for Zoking, and that might just be it, Vince.
That may be the final moments of the map taking shape of the best of 3, and NKT's tournament life has come to an abrupt end. Our grand final participants have been locked in. It is going to be the classic of TYLOO up against ViCi, a game that we have already seen, and we're going to have to figure out what exactly the parameters are for tomorrow, Dust. But first, we can break down what we just saw there. A 2-0, both maps went the distance, both maps were incredibly close, and I honestly think that although ViCi come out winning 16-13 here, I do feel like it could have had a bit more polish. I feel like that could have been like a 16-10 or a 16-9. We didn't see their best, but they got the job done, and that's all that really matters. Let's have a look how we've got to this spot with our brackets up here. So you can see that earlier on in the tournament, ViCi did take down TYLOO 2-0. As Dust touched on, it was a fairly one-sided affair. That's what dropped ViCi into this position that we casted today against NKT. And although it says 0-0 there, it will be TYLOO with a 1-0 lead in the best of 5. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We are one step closer to kicking off our best of 5 grand finals, and a spot for the major up for grabs between these 2 teams. It's pretty simple, Dust. Whoever wins this is going to be heading across to Stockholm for the major in just around a month's time. We both kind of come down into this game feeling like TYLOO are the favorites, but there is a bit of a caveat there, because maybe the maps will skew our opinion one way or the other when it does come down. Some Molotovs towards his position, forces him back, but not that much. He can still keep this close angle and maybe rattle off a few headshots with this Deagle. They line up. There's 2 frags for Summer. Looking for more and finds a third as well. Single-handedly destroys this push, and he's able to actually back out there and survive as well. And it goes from bad to worse. TYLOO only have Kaze to contend with in a 1-on-5. And surely he's going to go down in just a few moments' time as he looks to try and force his way onto the site. Maybe he can do a bit of damage. He's being tagged from multiple sides. Unbelievable. TYLOO win the round and don't lose a single player. Yeah, this is isolating and funneling his teammate into an awful position. There's mollies, flashes, and a bunch of crosshairs aimed in his location. So he goes down. Gotta be careful. Almond's on top of the coffins. Can't deny the bomb plant, but additionally loses his life. And a very straightforward, simplistic hit is yielding so much fruit in return. It's kill after kill, and ViCi have not lost a single player.
And he's able to catch the first one to kind of guard that bomb plant. Now they have main advantage here on this retake.
Advent takes down Attacker though, and now turns his attention towards the oranges. They know that Summer is here, changes position slightly, and it's USP in the hands of Jam Young to try and get this one back under the realms of possibility. Summer's down to 39, tagged again to 8, should be finished off, is finished off, and in enough time to go in for the defuse. So, ViCi, they tie us back up. Kaze is waiting for the smoke to clear. Flashbang does connect, but there's no follow-up damage. Jam Young can stay in position for as long as he wants. And that's a freebie. The frag drops down the bomb. They may not anticipate a secondary play here either. They need to clear this one out. They've now found out firsthand that ZoKing is still lurking in the pit, but he's been bested by DanKing, and now the bomb will be getting planted down. It didn't look possible, but a 2v2 retake on the cards.
Indeed, there's a chance here. DanKing being such a great player, getting 3 kills already. A chance for the ace, perhaps. Attacker gonna get one as well, and this might be it.
Advent has a flash. That's pretty much everything at his disposal. Needs to put it in. Good headshot onto DanKing, who looked for information, but the damage was inflicted, and there was a chance. He did tag Attacker down to 20.
Summer could cut off rotations if he peeks out balcony at the right time. It's only Alman here defending. He tries to put up a smoke to slow them down. He does get the bomb down. Trying to get more, but he can't. They will get into sight. They will plant also. Summer was good for 1 kill, but did get picked up, but it does slow down the CT rotation a bit. But they still have an advantage. Yeah, and an advantage. Spotted.
Nice. Flashbang through. Attacker now though does get flashed fully, and here comes somebody, has only a few bullets left but puts them to heads, and ZoKing will fall for the 2nd consecutive round. TYLOO clutch with 1 player alive. This is where the lack of kit though really will start to sting ViCi. They're gonna have to get a move on, and they only have a flash and a smoke to play with.
Oh, and they lose a player very early there thanks to Attacker's angle. Kaze, though, gets a nice shot, putting Attacker in a tough 1v2, but he's picking out the 1v1s perfectly, Vince.
And now Alman has to try and push onto the site. Flashbang up and over, won't be affecting Attacker. He's got the right position, he's got the right spot, the AK in his hands, and finally hits the head. It was labored, but he got the job done. And in doing so, 4 rounds now that TYLOO have a chance to get this map over with.
They're just now getting a CT spawn.
Yeah, there's only an MP9 as well on the site itself. Now, Jam Young needs to go above and beyond with his FAMAS, but it's one and done. Kaze has been allowed a bit more space, but there it is. The tsunami of T's just crash along the coast of the A site. Nothing in its wake. DanKing now staying alive a little bit longer. Does fall down, but a lot of damage inflicted to Advent. An AK should prevail, especially as Advent on 19 HP is finished off. And TYLOO do seal up the first map in our best of 5, and they will lead 2-0 now. And we felt like Inferno was a must-win for ViCi. Yeah, the only disappointing aspect for TYLOO is because of the position of DanKing's body, they couldn't pick up that secondary rifle, but Jam Young going from strength to strength, but he'll be called upon to go so massive, and he's lost his life. Somebody and Summer both push straight through. There's a Molotov underneath Kaze, too hot to handle, has to relocate, and that's in the embracing bullets of Summer. Another headshot delivered, another post plant, and although ZoKing has picked up the AK now from Danzig, his body through middle, it's just a 1 and done. Advent, Deagle in hand. They know exactly where he is. They know he's in the market. And as soon as he leaves this window, his life will be deemed forfeit. 5-1 lead. Jamyoung has the cross covered. They still need to bypass all these defenders that are in CT boxes. They're not entirely sure as to whether Palace is clear either. There's so many components that are spinning out of control. They still get the plant down. Are you kidding me here, ViCi? How have you let this get into a 3v3 post plant? This is such a head scratcher, and now the positions are horrible for the CTs. An attacker removes the head of not just Soaking, but Jamyoung as well. A round that should never ever be going against ViCi, and it has completely collapsed.
As I say that, though, now he does take into Palace. Bomb does start to swing into T-spawn towards A side. A big pick from somebody, though, onto Jamyoung. That's one up, down, and now he can throw a fake by himself here. He's putting so much pressure on this B site. He knows he's still got this player over towards the get-right corner. He's still fighting him. He gets that kill as well, and that means that Zoking can't leave, and A is being taken, but Advent, playing up close on the ramp, has a chance to disturb it, but gets traded.
So nearly gets 2 as well. That could have been huge. There's 20 seconds to go. Somebody is still just going nuclear over on the B side of the map, but there's not enough time. They can't get over there with a bomb. This is winnable now. Kaze, he's shown his hand over on the A side, but they're not sure exactly where he is. He could play the time. He could play the spoiler as well. Comes around the side, takes down the next player, and is allowed to survive a bit longer. 3 seconds to go. Rushing straight in. 1 second, and somebody takes down yet another one for a 4K.
But with double op, it makes it a little bit tougher.
Flash timing, that was from somebody onto his teammate, so that was a bit of a faux pas, a bit of a blunder. See if it catches up with him though, slowly. Oh, those 2 entries are massive towards Jungle Connector, and he's going from strength to strength. He won't be picking up a 4th, but he's done more than enough to somebody in the attacker who have got 28 kills combined to close the door, slam it shut on ViCi. Smoke down onto the site, they know exactly where it's planting, and an attacker takes both of them through the smoke.
And again, the bomb's been left behind, so they can't really build off of this territory they're getting on A site. Now it's been spotted. How are they going to get back to the bomb?
Well, that certainly helps. Kill onto Danking opens up some business back over on the T side. It's going to take them a good 10, 15 plus seconds to pick it up, retrieve it, then head towards a site. So they need Alman to really open his account, open things up. Big headshot, very nicely done. And another one. And so ViCi, well, they live a little bit longer.
Who was guarding window room. So, I mean, he's basically going to be here as well when this hit comes in. This is the worst case scenario for ViCi in a 5-on-4.
Oh, and they've lost the first player as well. Make that 2. The bomb's been spilled down, and a 3rd. Somebody is going from strength to strength, striding himself across for a couple of frags. 30 seconds left. Bomb spilled down, but it is a 2-on-2. Alman, though, who is hoping to try and flank around the back and get a couple of backstabs, is out of position. And with such low time left, he has got to just make a run. They have heard him on the approach. They have good positions. Danking with this AWP misses the first shot, though, but doesn't miss 2 times in a row. And that's going to be it with a flick. TYLOO qualified for the major.
Statistically speaking, events for this tournament, while this probably won't be much of a shocker to anyone, when you look at kind of the player ratings for the event, 4 of the 5 slots in the top 5 for rating belong to TYLOO. So again, just really impressive stuff. Just really got the job done.
Yeah, from start to finish, they didn't drop a single map throughout this entire tournament. At least I don't believe they did. No. Most of the maps were very, very comfortable in the end. I think maybe even in that Inferno performance earlier on, which, if we're being honest, wasn't as clear-cut and as efficient as TYLOO probably could have got it done. It could have been an incredibly one-sided map on another day. Most of them look very straightforward, and they played multiple maps, had multiple success. Let's have a look at the brackets then, though, as we were just discussing about the lack of dropping maps and all that good stuff, how we got to this point. Obviously, with TYLOO becoming the grand final victors. They knocked down ViCi earlier on in the tournament after taking a very straightforward win against Checkmate. And I think pretty much the brackets paint the entire picture for us.